Well, good morning, everybody. It's Leanne Greff with today's live video, a free class I do every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. Today, I will be featuring one of the new online exclusives, multiple projects with them, and they're all fun folds too. So it's I love to do. It's just something unique about a card when it opens differently than say when you bought in a store. They don't have to be complicated, but it's just fun to get a card like that. Okay, I need to sync my laptop so I can see comments, hopefully. And there we are. Okay. All right. So I hope you all had a good weekend. We did. My family came from Fargo, and we had a enjoyable weekend with games and puzzles, and of course food and visiting. So yeah, yay, Glenda. I'm glad you did make it. Okay, all right, let's get started. I'm going to do prize patrol first before I forget and get into things too much. Okay, last week's prizes were almost a 3/4 pack of the One Horse Open Sleigh designer paper and a set of the opaque faceted gems. These were a free choice during celebration, and I had an extra pack. So the winners of these prizes are, drum roll, Joanne Anderson and Deidre Johnson. So congratulations, gals. Thank you so much for commenting and sharing on last week's video to get in on the prize patrol. So this week, my prizes consist of a set of fun fold cards. Well, I don't know if they're all fun folds, but this features the, paper from the, I think it's a spring catalog, yeah. So in unique colors, a bubble bath and wild wheat, and then you have some boho blue, and then this is Lost Lagoon with crumb cake. So those are the 4 cards that somebody's going to get when they comment. Just for commenting, you're going to get a set of these cards. And for sharing, I have an extra pack of the color swatches for the current colors, so before they go away. So yeah, somebody come or share and you will get in on this. Great ways to figure out how to use our colors. It does really help when you have these in hand. If you, poetic expressions, thank you Jean, that's what this designer paper is. Thank you. Gosh, I can sure draw a blank sometimes. Anyway, that's for sharing. These are for commenting. So I'll draw a winner next week. So make sure you share on Facebook, in a message, or somewhere, and you will be in the drawing. Just let me know that you shared. I do look it up, but it doesn't always show everybody that shared, because depending on how your settings are on your Facebook page. Okay, so inventory status report. Really quickly, we've got a few things back that are now off the list, and of course new things are on. A couple new things in fact, one I'm showing today, the shiny sequins that are part of the Flowering Zinnias suite are out of stock. So luckily, well, unluckily enough, I didn't get to place my order for them with the Zinnias kit to go, but I'm substituting a different set of shiny dots. But the other thing that's out is the adhesive back swirl dots to go with the little Latte Designer Series paper. So those are such cute gems. Let's see, those will be back April 15th, so about a month. Yeah, there's a few things. We're also out of a few colors of cardstock and inks and ink refills. They mentioned, Sarah mentioned that they're having some supply chain issues again. What that consists of, I don't know. Thanks for sharing, gals. I appreciate that. But okay, there's the few things that that I typed up. There's even more on here. Some of them do not have expected dates because they just don't know. They're not told by the shipper yet, so they can't tell us. So this is interesting. Another demonstrator, Terry Gaines, created this PDF with all of our new online exclusives that came out in early March, and she put this together to share with everybody. So Stampin' Up! Is not giving us a printout because they're all online and they do go away when they run out. Some will just be discontinued, others will come back. So yeah, they don't want to do a printout because they don't want people to depend on a printout for the availability of products. So they want us to go online. But I posted this on my blog on Sunday. So flowerbook.net, if you want to have a printout, if you're one of those people who likes it in writing, in print, go there and you can print it out. It's just a 3-page PDF, but it does give item numbers, cost, and the name. So it makes it easy to order. Okay, all right, what else do I have to say? I'm giving away free rainbow dots with any purchase over $55 from my online store. Here's one of my current host codes. I have another one on my blog, and I have another one in the description of this video. I have 2 going right now. Make sure you're following me on Facebook. If you don't get the notification that I'm live, you want to go up to your notification settings, those 3 little dots at the very top on the right, and click on that and check your notification settings. You want it to say see all. Facebook decides what you're going to see. Otherwise, follow me on YouTube. These videos are uploaded to YouTube as well. So yeah, then you won't miss anything. This is my blog, so I post my free project sheets for these projects that I'm showing today on my blog. And then that's my tutorial shop for glue stands and a few other things that I have on there. Okay, I think, oh, about my card kits. So my Zinnia kit is still available. The Simply Zinnia and Flowering Zinnia cards, I have about 9 left of those, but the little latte is sold out. However, I know many of you, well, Linda especially, she contacted me, I'm late, it's sold out, and I really wanted it, but I was busy. So I hope when those little dots come back in April that I will be able to offer a few more of the a little latte card kit. So if you are one of those who wants one of my little latte kits and you go there and it says sold out, contact me on Messenger, in an email, and let me know that you want one, and I'll put you down and then I'll contact you again to make sure you still want it. So yeah, I have to go with I just didn't order enough demand. I didn't know how popular it would be. So, all right, that's it, I think. Oh, I know, I wanted to show my team swaps. Oh my goodness. So we used online exclusives and they just knocked it out of the park. So this one was made by Jackie, and she used the Encircled in Nature dies, and she did a fun fold. Look at all the dies that she did. She said she was up until 2 in the morning trying to finish these, but it's a unique fold. I don't know if I've seen this. She said the original card she saw was a square card, and she wanted to make it into a full-size card, so she figured it out. But man, what detail. And she used some of the cork. Yeah, that is Encircled in Nature, and it's in the online exclusives. Now, this is Jana's card, and she used the Magnolia. I don't think that's a full term for that stamp set or bundle, but isn't her coloring just gorgeous? So a bubble bath with some basic gray, and I'm not sure which green she used there, but just a beautiful card that really shows off that. And there's an extra little set of dies in the back here that that aren't as apparent. So this folder was a celebration folder, so that's no longer available. This one is made by Sharon, and gosh, I don't remember the name of this set. It's in the online exclusives, but it has that little honey bear and of course the little hive or a cave, whichever way you want to think about that. This was the card I made for our swaps, and that uses the Simply Zinnia, and I used the folder on that die cut in the back. So those are the little shiny sequins that are out of stock right now, unfortunately. Now I have a lot of Zinnias cards. We kind of went nuts. A lot of people chose the Zinnias. This is Rita's card, and she did kind of a fold where she added a window sheet, and then she doubled the designer paper so you didn't have the other print on the back. So, and she fussy cut her flowers. And this one was made by Jenny. Look, our coloring is so similar. She popped her main panel up. That really adds a lot to the card too. So there, and we have one more. Karen made this one, and she tore her many sheets of the flowering zinnia designer paper and created kind of a torn designer paper look. So it's scored, the main card base is scored diagonally at 4¼ inches. And then she added the lemon lime twist on top, and then it does this. So isn't that interesting? I don't remember if I've seen this before. It's almost like a bookbinding fold, but there's no score here. So we've done something very similar, but not quite like that. This one was made by Paula, and she was a little confused on online. She saw this online and thought it was part of her online exclusives, but it's not. The stamp set and the paper is in the annual catalog, but I love her card. Bubble Bath and Berry Burst work so beautiful together, and I love what she did here for the star and the wand with that little stamp set. So yeah, very cool. And Candy made this one with, I believe it's called Trucking Along. Oops, I just lost a sequence. Hold on here, I'm trying to put it back. Okay, Trucking Along, and I believe this might be blueberry with crumb cake and espresso. So yeah, really pretty with a little die cut. That's the decoed circles. Here is another Simply Zinnias, and she used the greeting and then the 2 out of the 3 new glimmer papers. So we have the Berry Burst, the Granny Apple, or is it Old Olive? I can't remember. And there's a white as well, and those are in the online store. So that's her card, and this one is made by Joan. She did such a good job. I'm like, where is that stamp set from? And now I have to find it. I keep forgetting the name of it. Yeah, and every time I look, I can't find it. It's so weird that it just kind of disappears in the online exclusives. And I'm looking because it's such a small print. It's so funny. Every time I look, I don't see it. Well, it's in the online exclusives, and it's down a ways. It's not among the new. It might have been on the last offering, but isn't her coloring just gorgeous? Such great shadows. And these are the deckled circles. This is made with, yeah, okay, Blueberry Bushel. Thank you, Candy. In My Heart, thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. This is made with the 4 square embossing, or the decorative masks in the annual catalog. She used blending brush and the masks. I love that background. And this is Orchid Oasis with, I believe, Sweet Sorbet, which are both going away. So I really encourage you to check your in colors, your Sweet Sorbet, this is a quiz, Orchid Oasis, Starry Sky, Parakeet Party, and Tahitian Tide. Those 5 colors will be in the retired list on April 9th, and then they may go fast. So if you need ink refills, more cardstock, ribbons, all those, you want to get them now before April 9th, because they could actually be selling out now, and they will not reorder. If they're retiring for sure, they will run out, and they will not reorder something that's retiring. So if you want any of those 5 retiring in colors in preparation for our 5 new ones that demonstrators get to see in 8 days. Well, I get to see it on Thursday at on stage in Houston. So I will see the new catalog, yay me, on Thursday. Some of my team and I are meeting in Houston, and we're going to hang out for 4 days. So I'm looking forward to that. But I will know the in colors, and I think we may be able to share them. So watch my Facebook page. Okay, I can get off track really easy. Last card is one made by Tracy, and I just love this layout for the scenic designer paper of Meandering Meadow. So these, I believe, are 1 1/4 by 2 1/2. I'm sharing it on my blog later this week, some of these cards, and then I'll share some more next week. But isn't that a neat way to use? And then you just offset, and that creates the balance. So here's your eye is drawn to this, but then you get to see the greeting, which is just off to the side. And then she used an embossing folder on the other part of the black. I don't know if you can see that. It's in the fishing suite. Something rope. I don't remember. Twisted rope, maybe. Anyway, those are our beautiful swap cards for my team this last weekend that we met. So such great cards. They did an amazing job. So I thought you'd want to see those. And if you want details, I'll be sharing them along with some measurements that I can. This one will be a little bit difficult to share but maybe I'll make a card like that soon. That's why I love swapping. I just get so inspired. And this one, I totally forgot about the window sheet idea. So, you know, swapping just gives you such great inspiration. I've been making swaps for the On Stage in Houston. And yeah, I'm hoping I'd get 2 organized swaps, and then I'll do some general swapping. And that's what next week's live will be. I don't think I'm going to prep because I come home Sunday. The live is Tuesday, unless I get real inspired. But I think it's going to be mostly sharing my many, many swaps. I'm hoping there's going to be like 70 or 80. So we'll see. But I'm going to use the Simply Zinnia bundle and the designer paper, which I don't know. Oh, I know. Hold on. I'm going to get my sample sheet so I can show you that. That's the Flowering Zinnias paper, and that's still available. However, I do believe this stamp set. Oh, wait. Maybe it is back. It was. I didn't see it on the list. So maybe it's available again. It was unavailable last week. So we'll see. If anybody wants to check and let me know, I'd appreciate that. So these are the projects we made on my team meeting this weekend. And so I took it easy and prepped an extra set so I could share with all of you. Now, 2 of these are also in my Zinnia kit to go that you can see at my Flower Bug shop. And there's a tutorial option, which some people are taking advantage of. So like I said, this is in my my kit to go. So it's a double I don't know what to call it. I think I called it a double layer card, but isn't that neat? So you have 2 openings. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Now remember, the project sheet will be next week. So I do not give measurements today. I just decided to make it quicker for me and just make a project sheet since I'm doing it anyway. And I don't remember, I think this is like 6, 7 1/4 maybe. But this is all the pretty designer paper from the Flowering Zinnias. And you know, I mentioned this before, the reason I put it on here instead of the back of this is because now this, I don't get gluey. I can touch this, but I don't have to touch that. So that's why I do that. It just keeps me a little cleaner of glue. I'm gonna slide it over just a little bit. It's not quite cut perfectly, and I kind of like that little peak of green on the side there. So that's that. And then we have a lemon lime twist layer and this designer paper. You can see I showed both. I think I'm gonna do this side this time because I know exactly that where this is going to be. I don't have to guess. And I don't feel like I have to get it way to the edge because then it starts leaking out. If you don't put it way to the edge, you're a little bit safer. Okay, so this, oh gosh, let's see. It's 7 1/2 or 7 3/8 or something odd like that. I should have done it a little bit easier, but I believe it's 4 3/4 wide, tall. So I did not score this one. It's Whisper White. It's the Whisper White isn't thick, is a little bit thinner, and you don't need to pre-score quite as much. So it'll go in there. But let's get out my ink. So I decided to use Old Olive as my ink for my greetings. Okay, this is the Sending Flowers and Thinking of You. I think that's a really nice saying. I do like that. So I'm just gonna tap and I call it traveling when you're not in the same place. Sometimes ink pads get a little bit lighter in the center if you tend to always stamp in the center. So this is, I found this a little bit of a hard one to get straight. Long stamp, see that U is going up a little bit. We're gonna try it again. Hopefully now my sending, that's not too bad. I'll keep that one. Okay, all right, and then in here, Sending Flowers and Thinking of You, and then Because You're Awesome. Now this is from the Circle Celebrations. And you could sure do a lot more. I'm keeping it fairly simple today. And yeah, I think I want to go this way. Just simply a leaf. Have my chamois off to the side. So yeah, I don't have to have so much in camera. All right, there we go. So this, I like to do my inside first because then I'm not struggling with all the items on top. So you can see where if this cut was cut out just a little bit more, you could center it. I don't know why I didn't think of that before I made the card, but I actually followed Karen's, my team member's swap from last month. So I get quite inspired by my team and their cards. So remember, if you think you might be inky and you want to what I call burnish, turn it over and press on the other side. That way, in case you do have some ink on your fingers, you do not end up smearing your brand new card. Okay. And now I do want to have the top and the bottom even and the side a little bit narrower. I want to show more of this paper. Okay, now I fussy cut this flower from the designer paper. I did a lot of them. And it was fun. I actually enjoy fussy cutting. It doesn't bother me at all. So the little leaves and some of the little knobbies, they're not as perfect as they could be, but you know, I don't stress about it. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Okay. I feel like this is the top of the flower, whichever way. Maybe I'll go this way. Okay, and I just really like, I don't know about you, but just a simple banner with an angled end. So you can see my angle. I just use the same angle to do both sides. And that just makes it so easy. And it's different. It's just a little different than if you were to have to die cut something or punch something. I really like simple banners that kind of you can pop up, add dimensionals to, and you want to make sure you're dimensional. Oh, that is a little bit of a mistake because now I might have to, I'm going to just trim that off a little bit more. We'll see if I can get this on the card because I'm looking at that and that will show and I don't like that. So I don't know if I can do it unless I get really angled here. A little bit. I might have to change that one. I didn't even think of that when I was stamping the other side. Okay, we're going to add some of the beautiful sequins, the shiny sequins that are not available right now. And I definitely want to use a pink. Let's see. I think we'll do that there. And a green. And maybe a yellow. Okay, there's our cards. So I found that almost any flower worked because they all had either pink or green or something in them that made it all work. So I used all the flowers on the cards. So that's the first one. If anybody has a good name for this card, I would love to know it. This one I added a fussy cut flower in, but double, I don't know, double base, double, I don't know, I'm stuck on double. So that's, that's my first card. Okay, let's do this next fun fold. Is also part of my my kits to go, my Zinnia kit to go. So you think it looks like a normal card, right? It looks like it uses the beautiful paper that is, I should have had a whole sheet to show you, but it's a whole sheet where the flowers come from the bottom and then the same thing is at the top. So you cut it in half and you get all these layers. So when I see that type of paper, I like to get the most I can out of it without cutting it too thin. So this is 3-inch wide. Most people do a whole 4-inch, and I found that you can get by with 3 and add some other decorative element to the side of it. So that's the paper, but this is how it opens. See that? Isn't that neat? I don't know what this one, I just called it a, I think a Z card. So it is actually 11 inches long, and you scored at 5 and 10. I know that. I think it's 3 3/4 wide, just so you know. And these are simply 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Plain old standard A2 size, but that is 11 inches. So this is 1 inch. 1 inch, and then another 5 inches, and then this is 5 inches. So really, really fun. And it does actually stand up. You can't do it too narrow. If you do it a little bit wider, it does stand up. Okay, let's get started. Pull out the pieces for this one. So you have 2 card bases. That's Mossy Meadow. And here is our inside. I'm going to make sure that is nice and even before I bone fold. Okay, so unfortunately, I tend to have this. I want it to open like that, so yes, that's how it's going to open. All right, so what I do is add some adhesive to that 1 inch mark, and then I center this, because this is 4 3/4, so you have about 1/4 of an inch. It's not quite perfect. It could be a little bit wider. So center that. Now I probably should have, now that is my top. So I usually stamp before I I adhere. I guess I didn't do that this time, but I'll do it now. We'll see. Hopefully I'll do it right. Yes, I agree, Annette. That's my plan too, is getting the most from my pretty designer paper. Those sheets like this that are printed that make a card front so easy, yeah, I want to get the most I can out of that. So this is one of the greetings in the set. You know what? I'm going to stamp here first just to see what's straight, and it's actually pretty straight. Sometimes they're not straight on the rubber or my block. So yes, this is where I want to stamp. You don't want to wobble when you're stamping, especially on long greetings. It's very easy to wobble. All right, my little die cut. This pretty die cut is from the Cheerful Daisies. And I'm going to use the other greeting that's in here. I'm going to do another check. It's a little high on the T, so I'm going to drop it down. See if I got it. Yes. Okay. All right, done stamping. Okay, set that aside. Now, what you want to do to put these together is add adhesive, and then you simply just sandwich this on the bottom one. It's a little bit narrower. Sometimes my paper trimmer, one will be a perfect 5 1/2 or 4 1/4, and the other one will not be. So there we go. So this is my card front. Okay, so on when I made this card, I used an entire piece of petal pink, and that made it pretty easy for what I'm going to do. So now I have to think a little bit harder on how to put this together. I just thought, well, why am I wasting all that petal pink under there when I only see an inch? So I decided to cut it down and we'll see how well I can do this. But what I do is lay this on here, and this is going to overlap. Oh, no, it's not. Wow, that does not overlap. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, okay, we will do it another way. So I know my ribbon. That's the whole problem is this ribbon. If I wouldn't have done it this way, I imagine I'm going to cut it wider when I cut out for my kits to go, because this is just going to be too difficult for the average person. Okay, so now this can get adhered. And then this, I will add some adhesive to the back side. I'm going to just do it right now. Lay that down there. And try, I made this super difficult for the average person. So it'll be different when I cut it out for my kits. All right, so yeah, that's still kind of stuck because of where I put my adhesive. All right, now, so at least I got by, but yeah, I made it difficult. Okay, so don't do that. Now I have to figure this out. All right, it's gonna work. I just wanted to hide my ribbon to the back, and I can actually sneak under here just a little bit, but yeah, definitely a bigger piece. Okay, there we go. Now, one other thing I like to do is I don't like this floating ribbon, so I'm gonna sneak in a little bit of tape runner and do that. So we will pop the greeting up. Now I have one more beautiful card to show you that really shows off the Zinnia dies that I think you're gonna like. So I also like to offset my my greeting onto both. I don't know, it just seems to be balanced when I do it like that. Okay, I pre-made the bows for my gals. They love that. So I have one left. Pick the good side. And a mini glue dot, because ribbons and glue dots are best friends. And then just add that to the card. Now lastly, we will get those pretty sequins out again and add a few. I think I'm going to stick with the petal pink in this case. One there. There, I kind of like to have them offset, so then I'll add one at the top. Okay, there is our card. What do you think? Do you want to make one of those type of cards? Yeah, the Zinnia paper is so pretty. It really is. It just, I'm so ready for spring that it's kind of a nice wake up for spring in our winter, although we've had a wonderful winter. So showing you the stamp set again, you get one large floral bouquet, and a large zinnia, a leaf, a little dotted image, and then 3 greetings. So that's the stamp set. So this next card mostly features the dies, and I'm going to pull them out so you can see what I did. So look at the dies on this. So lots and lots of texture. And this paper here is the rock and roll paper in our mini catalog. So it's black and white, and I added a little bit inside. And the stamps, I chose to go outside the normal box and not use Zinnia design our paper images, and I wanted to use the Comforting Thoughts, because I thought sometimes you need something bright and happy, but this is one of my favorite stamp sets in the online exclusive. Such great greetings. Okay, let's get started. There's a lot to that. So you can see each flower has 2 layers. Then they have 2 centers. So I chose to do black on the outside and lemon lolly in the middle. And then there are 2 leaves. So this is the inside of the leaf here. Okay, so Old Olive and Granny Apple is what I did there. So this is Flirty Flamingo, and this is Melon Mambo with Granny Apple. Okay, all right, let's get our card parts over here. And, and I forgot to texture this. Well, I'm going to do it without. It'll be fine. I do that all the time when I have texture. I forget to do it ahead of time. I gotta get better about that. Okay, there. If you want to double do your scoring, that does help. Lay it flat. Okay, so first we're going to adhere this to the Melon Mambo layer, and I'm going to put the adhesive on this side because I'm not sure exactly where it's going to land. So there is a Zinnia embossing folder in the Simply Zinnia suite that is gorgeous. Lots of great textures. So that's what I used on this card. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Okay, so now we will add adhesive here. I didn't get all the way to the edge, see? So I won't have the leaking out. And then I want to make sure this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, that my edges are even. There we go. Okay, now I didn't do anything to this. I thought there is enough texture and enough going on that for this white layer where the flowers are attached, I am simply going to adhere that. And I want more of that black paper showing, so we'll go closer to the edge. The other thing I could have done if you don't have an embossing folder is to just stamp. And you can stamp tone on tone or with Versamark. So remember, that's a good reminder when you're doing a background. So I considered using the adhesive sheets, and of course it's just so easy to grab scraps and die cut. So I didn't add the adhesive sheets for this. I like to just smear my glue around a little bit so it's not so thick and doesn't ooze out. And you don't have to get everywhere. You just have to get to some ends. Okay. Now these, people had a lot of trouble. Now I think this is the bottom because the pieces are a little bit wider. So I looked at the short side. It feels like to me this is a little shorter and this is a little shorter. So it seemed to fit pretty well when, now I'm going to make myself a liar, when I did that. There we go. So once you figure it out, so I don't have as much air between the petals, just kind of sneak underneath there and add a little glue. So I will add my little lemon lolly center. And this is another thing that is kind of hard. It doesn't really cover, is that the back side? Oh, this is the back side. You can kind of tell because if your plate has lines in it from cutting, you get a rough look to that. It doesn't cover perfectly. It leaves a little bit of a peak happening on the cards. So yeah, this is another reason I feel this is the bottom, because it's wider. See how the center is so much bigger on that one and this one's smaller. Which way? Oh, there we go. That works pretty well. Okay, where's my other yellow center? Uh-oh. I thought I saw it. Did it get lost in either the bag or, well, shooty patootie. I do not see it anywhere. Well, I might have to wait to put the second one on. Can't quite finish. Okay, we're gonna do a leave up and a leave down, and I'm gonna switch it up and put this flower in the bottom and this one on the top. So this one's going to be adhered flat. And you're saying, well, you didn't attach the leaves yet. Well, I'm just gonna sneak under there, spread out my glue a little bit, and sneak that in. Okay, and then this one will get popped up. So how many of you like the simpler cards where you use more of the designer paper? And how many of you like to use the die cuts? I'm more of a paper gal. I really like to either show off the paper or show off a layout or colors. I don't tend to do a lot of die cutting like this card shows. Okay, for a greeting, I used the Healing, Peace, and Rest, and one of the dies that I used, these are the Happy Little Things dies, and they just have two little banners. These are out of stock for a little while. I can't remember, let's see, Happy Little Things dies. March 25th, so not too long. Oh wait, but this is a bundle, and it's kind of a, of course, a bold and an outline that you can put together, and then little phrases that you can connect with those words to celebrate wishing, love, and you. So I love it. I love the bundle. Okay, so it's always nice to have kind of a get well card, because sometimes you do sympathy or thinking of you, and this is just a nice get well. So I'm going to straighten out my die so it's a little bit not so lifting up. My fingers are sticky. Okay, we're going to stick with that Healing, Peace, Rest. And I love that it's photopolymer, so I can see right through it and get it perfectly, I'm not going to lie, hopefully, perfectly straight. And they always stick. It's a little low, but I'm okay. It's okay. I always stamp off before I clean, because then my chamois or cleaning mat or whatever you use does not get quite so full of ink. And then I don't have to wash it out and my stamps get cleaner. Okay, now I can't add that yet because I have to find my lost yellow piece. Knowing me, it probably is stuck to a sleeve or something, but I'll worry about it in a little bit. Okay, so when I have a popped up area and a low area, I can't add another dimensional here. You have to just, if you want it to look even, you just add a little adhesive on one side when it's on a popped up element. So don't add another pop up. And I want to make sure this is straight. Might need a little bit of pressing. There we go. Oh, and then my inside, just a simple piece of, I'll use this tape runner, of designer paper to match, and you can make it vertical or not. And you stuck too early. That's kind of why I like the glue. It's a little bit more friendly, and I can see that hanging off the edge a touch. So I'll just trim that. And here is the greeting, wishing you comfort, and that's on this stamp set as well. Am I making you nervous with this opening pad and this card base? I'm getting nervous too. Okay. Okay, I love this one. Okay, and I know approximately where this is going to be, so we'll go on there because that ink could be wet. Straighten that out. And let's let's cover this up. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so there's the card. That one's missing the front, but those are the cards we made today. So here, if you just joined us, this is the other. They're all fun folds and easy ones as well. Just a simple 11-inch by 3 3/4 inch paper. And then we did this one too, which I'm hoping somebody has found a name for. So that's kind of a double flap card. Maybe that's what I want to call it, double flap. Anyway, those are the cards that we did today with the Simply Zinnia and the Flowering Zinnia stamp set. So 2 of these are part of my Zinnia, Flowering Zinnias kit to go, and I do still have 9 left, and then that's probably going to be it. So if you want one of those, get to my shop and order one before they're gone. I don't usually make more. The latte set that I'm going to make more or order more is kind of an anomaly. I don't usually do that. But all right, that's it. And I will see you next week, Tuesday, and I'll be sharing my swaps and the cover of the catalog next Tuesday. So be sure you share and comment to get in on door prizes. And if you need anything, there's my host code, and that's where you can find where to order. And if you need, yeah, this is all still available except for the sequins. Oh, I did forget to mention this ribbon is in the annual catalog. It's a duo with lemon lime twist, and it's included in the kit to go. All right, that's it. Thanks so much. Appreciate you. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.